Did we all see them earlier this week at the Carnivore Center? Yeah, they're pretty cool. So they go by a couple different names. You go back one side for me, that's okay. Okay, they're called Cape hunting dogs, painted wolves, spotted dogs, or ornate wolves. And now if we go ahead and check out the picture here, what would you call them? Just looking at them, what would you call them? Can you come up with a good name for them? Yes.
Me?
Yeah.
I'd call them stealth dogs.
Stealth dogs. Ooh, what else would we call them?
Printed dogs.
Printed dogs. That's a good one.
Camo dogs.
Camo dogs. That's a funny one. How about you?
Cute puppy.
Cute puppy. Okay.
Spotted
Spotted dogs.
Cheetah dogs.
Cheetah dogs. And one more back there.
Savage Spot.
Savage spots. All right. Very good. So as you can see, lots of people have had lots of different names to call these dogs, but you can come up with some pretty cool ones too because these are beautiful dogs. Okay, some quick facts about dogs. I'm sure you learned, or about the wild dogs. I'm sure you learned some of these facts when you went over to the Carnivore Center. But a couple of the facts about them are: one, they are endangered. What does endangered mean?
Endangered means that there are not many of them left.
Right, there's not very many of them left, and that's because they've lost a lot of habitat in Africa where they're native to, and also diseases from domestic animals. So when you think about it, lots more people are living in Africa, more and more, and they also bring, for an example, their pet dogs. And their pet dogs might have diseases that they are okay with, but they can carry those diseases and bring them into Africa, and the African wild dogs have never been subjected to those diseases before. So it actually can really, really hurt them because they don't have any immunity to those kind of diseases. So that's something that has happened to them as well. They're very ferocious. 9 out of 10 hunts end in a kill. That makes them one of the most efficient hunters in all of Africa. So they're really, really, really ferocious animals. They're very successful, very good. They're family oriented. They tend to their sick family members and help to feed the whole pack. So unlike other packs of animals where if there's an ill family member, they'll kind of ignore them because they're pretty competitive. For wild dogs, they kind of realize that they need all of their family members to remain a strong unit. So they have to keep everybody strong because the more healthy family members they have, the more food that they can have, and the easier it is for them to be able to feed themselves. So they actually even will take care of their sick family members. That's pretty nice, isn't it? They also have some really cool hierarchies, which means that in the male and the female dogs both have near equal alpha roles. So it means that they're at the top. So in a lot of different packs, there's like an alpha male who's kind of in charge of all of the rest of the animals in the pack. In the wild dogs, there are alpha females and alpha males who are in charge of all the rest of the males and females. So that's pretty cool too. And their packs are typically non-aggressive towards each other. So they don't really fight it out to become the alpha very often. They typically are very submissive and very peaceful around each other, which also is kind of unusual when you think about other pack animals, right? You don't normally think about them like scrapping it out, right? But they're not. They're usually pretty peaceful.
So they're kind of like human dogs.
Kind of, yeah, a little bit in that way. But they're definitely more ferocious than a human dog, right? Okay, so they're found in Central, East, and Southern Africa also. Okay, so dogs have some fierce, go back one just for me. So these dogs have some fierce instincts, and I want you to see this video. Okay, they're going to be kind of picking on a hyena. A hyena and lions are two of their main competitors where they are from in Africa. So I want you to check out these instincts, and there's a couple things I want you to pay attention to. I want you to listen to the sounds that they make, and I want you to watch what their behavior is as a group. So we're going to watch this just for a couple seconds here. And I just want you to pay attention because we're going to compare this to something in just a couple of minutes here. So let's watch this for a couple seconds. So we can see here, it's a little blurry, but it's going to clear up in just a second. There's an ad on there. Okay.
Humongous hyena.
So yeah, there's the hyena right there, and we can see the African wild dogs. Listen closely. Do you hear that chirping noise? That's actually the wild dog. So the groaning noise is coming from the hyena, and the wild dogs, can we see they're all kind of ganging up and picking on him?
It kind of makes me feel bad for the hyena.
A little bit. A little
The
bit.
hyena has his tail between his legs.
Right, it's the circle of life. He's definitely getting picked on. But we definitely hear their chatter, and we can see that all the wild dogs are kind of ganging up.
It's like a prehistoric hyena.
So let's move on to the next one.
That hyena.
Okay. So how do the wilds in Ohio fit in with African wild dogs? Through species survival plans. Okay, so these wild dogs, because they're endangered, are part of a program called a species survival plan, and there's lots of different aspects to the species survival plan that are specific just to African wild dogs. And some of those things include breeding them, so we breed them to increase their population numbers, right? Okay, increasing public awareness. Do you think we're doing that right now?
Yeah.
Are you learning about African wild dogs? Okay, and now that you know a little bit more about them, are you starting to feel like you care a little bit more about African wild dogs? See, it's already working. Okay, so increasing public awareness through research, which we do plenty of research here, and also reintroduction. So as long as their native homeland is fit for them to be reintroduced, we can actually send them back and reintroduce them back in the wild where they belong. Really cool, right?
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Yeah.
Is that the actual size of the wilds in Ohio?
Is that the actual size? Oh, no, this is just, I see what you mean, because it was on the state of Ohio. The wilds is about 10,000 acres, though, and we're about 14 square miles. So we are really, really large compared to other facilities that are like us. So we're the largest of our kind in North America, though. So we are pretty big.
This is awesome.
Okay? It is awesome here. Okay, so first things first. Let's see. Who wants for me? Who wants to help us? Who wants to help us help wild dogs? Okay, very good. Now, it's critical that the wild dogs are in good health, okay? And we can help because their mental health is important so that the dogs act as naturally as possible while they're here in captivity. So, in order for them to have good mental health, do you think they would have good mental health if they were bored all day? No, you would not have good mental health. So part of what we do is called enrichment. And we do different things so that it makes their day here more interesting. So it might be putting some smells around. They smell something interesting, and it's kind of thought-provoking to them. Or sometimes we might give them some type of toy or a game. So you guys have been working on what all week? Zebras. Your paper-mache zebras. Very good. So we're going to make them play. We're going to go over and we're going to give them those zebras because it's going to help them with their mental health, right?
I want to watch it today.
We're going to watch it in just a second, okay? So, moving on here. All right. So, here's a little kind of equation that I made over here. Enrichment, which we're going to do, equals mental health in the wild dogs. Mental health equals happy wild dogs. We want them to be happy, right? Happy wild dogs can probably mean wild dog puppies if they're happy. And more wild dogs, those wild dog puppies, equals saving them from extinction. So just by making them play today, you guys are actually helping to save the wild dog from extinction. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel good?
Yeah.
Puppies.
Very good.
Okay. Puppies.
So let's move on to the next one here. Okay, do we remember the video from before that we saw? Where they were kind of picking on that hyena, right? And they were making that chattering noise, and they were all kind of playing around it. Let's watch what happens with some wild dogs that are in captivity, and they're given a Christmas tree. So go ahead and move
Oh
forward
my
here.
God.
They're given a pine tree as enrichment to make them play. So let's see how similarly these wild dogs that are in captivity are going to act. They're probably going to act pretty similarly to the actual wild dogs that were picking on a hyena. Okay? We've got a little ad there.
I hate those eyes.
Okay, so do we see them starting to do the same kind of thing?
Right?
That might be a Christmas tree and not a hyena, but listen. Are they making the same noises
Yeah.
as the actual wild dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So we can see that enrichment helps them to act as naturally as they can, right? So that might be not a hyena, that might be a Christmas tree. It's a very ferocious Christmas tree, right? They're definitely attacking it.
up. Oh,
But do you see, can you guys see how giving them enrichment helps them to be as natural and normal as they possibly can be?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, very good. So let's move on to the next one here. So we've got kind of a picture here with lots of different words. What are some of the words that you see on this?
Wild.
Wild,
Fierce.
fierce,
Natural.
natural,
Beautiful.
beautiful,
Healthy.
healthy,
Africa.
Africa, survival,
Ohio.
Ohio. Very good. So there's a lot of different words on here. What are the words that you might add to this when it comes to Ohio and
12:30 flight. Moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, "Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you." It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna take some time to do the things we never had. The wild dogs cry out in the night as they grow restless, longing for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become.